fabulous superstar Leo. Welcome to your horoscope for the month of April 2023. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. It is a remarkable astrological month, without a doubt. Big moves happening in the sky now. It is going to be on the 6th of the month that we will have this month's full moon taking place in a part of the sky for you that has to do with siblings, cousins, and neighbors. It has to do with synchronicity, just being in the right place at the right time, connecting with the right person, and it can make all the difference for you now. It also has to do with what's happening within your neighborhood. It has to do with what's happening in your mind, perception, learning, curiosity, communication, and conversations, especially the random kind. And so we can see here that this is a part of the sky that asks you to be spontaneous, but also open, whether it's open to connecting with people, but also open to learning as well. Now, we have some interesting things with this full moon, mainly that it is across the sky from Jupiter. And I see that as either overshooting the mark or in some way aspirational. Because of where this full moon is for you, I have to say, first and foremost, be careful about gossip. Be careful about bragging, over promising. These are some possibilities here. It's almost like by saying too much, you find yourself questioning whether or not you did the right thing. In some cases, you may find that there are consequences of that that really don't make you feel very good. And so it's good to have the intention in advance to decide what feels right for you to share and maybe what isn't yours to share at all. This might be a time when it seems to you that a sibling, cousin, or neighbor is making a choice, making a decision, or announcing changes in their life that may feel as if they're missing key details or that they're overshooting the mark in some way. It's connected to this over-promising, but also thinking of things perhaps way too broadly and not considering the actual details that are going to end up being really important. Now, depending on your relationship with this person, you get to decide how you're going to proceed and what feels right for you to do in light of your unique circumstances. It could be that you feel especially curious, there's more things you want to learn, and you're feeling really excited about it. This could also be a time when you feel like there is encouraging news, hopeful news that could find you. And yet, it also asks you to pace yourself as well. There is some grand possibility that you could achieve, and yet it's a good idea to consider that there might actually be more steps than you anticipate, at least in the moment now. Now, as we navigate further, we've got some remarkable energies, and it all centers around what's happening in fellow fire sign Aries. This is a decidedly worldly part of your sky. It has to do with what's happening with higher education, legal matters, immigration, citizenship matters, long distance travel as well. And more personally, it has to do with the beliefs that guide your life, political, philosophical, or religious as well. Well, here's the thing. We're going to have the luckiest day of the year here on the 11th. So this is really exciting. It has to do with how it is that international alliances can be the pathway towards greater opportunity and possibility for you now in all kinds of ways. It can represent a time when you are feeling especially optimistic or adventurous as well. Perhaps there's a chance to do some exploring or take on an adventure, whether that's international or a different kind of adventure, like a higher education adventure at that. Now, if you're involved in a legal matter, I would say try to tap into this energy as much as possible to bring matters to a resolution. Right now, you've got Jupiter in this part of the sky, maximizing blessings that much more. Jupiter will be at the height of its power to bless when it meets the sun on the 11th. So you really want to tap into this energy as consciously as possible. And I say that because, on the one hand, in the middle of May, Jupiter will leave this part of your sky not to return for well over a decade. So you've got this moment that you can capture in some way to bring a legal matter, no matter how long standing, to a close. I think you'll be glad for that. But the other thing is that on the 20th, we are going to have an eclipse in this same part of the sky that Jupiter is in. The eclipse is close in the sky to Jupiter, but it's also squaring, or at least somewhat of a square, which is a conversation of tension with Pluto. And so it ends up being a little tricky here, right? On the one hand, there is that sense of all that could be possible, perhaps in an instant. But there's also some difficult questions or practical steps that need to happen as well. As much as you may be looking at other people to be helpful to you, they may be part of what leads you to ask questions. It's up to you to decide whether those questions are good ones or not. Now, in some cases, for some Leos, it is possible as well, especially at that solar eclipse, you may feel as if your beliefs are challenged in some way, and you get to decide whether or not it's worth saying anything about or doing anything about or not. And this could be through social media or perhaps through something that is published at this time. I know that's only going to apply for a small number of Leos out there, but these are some things to take into consideration now. It could be a whole new way of understanding, a whole new spiritual framework, philosophical framework opens up to you in an instant, but also feels challenging in some way, whether that's challenging based on what it looks like you might need to do in order to maximize this moment, but also in how it is that it might challenge some really old messages or speak to what might be happening between you and another person in a key partnership at that. And so you get to decide what's worth it, what's worth pursuing in terms of your beliefs or what adventures are calling you, and whether or not you feel the support of others in that regard. Where it comes to matters of love, I already spoke of others, one on one alliances that absolutely could play out in the context of love as well. Remember, Pluto is in your opposite sign. You're getting that little bit of a taste before Pluto retrogrades out from here in June. And so for now, there is either fear stirring around relationships and what they're going to mean for you, or there is desire stirring to either work on your current relationship or to transform where you are in love and how you feel about it. So that's the Plutonian energy that is going to be intimately involved with that eclipse. But for all that, keep in mind on the 11th, we are going to have Venus change signs, moving into a social friendship part of the sky for you. So chances are you'll be that much more open to meeting other people, connecting with other people, and that in turn can help you to understand love differently in some way. So for those of you open to meeting someone new, I have to say the 11th, yes, it's the luckiest day of the year. It involves your ruling luminary, the sun, meeting Jupiter. You want to tap into that. But what we also have is, as Venus steps into a new sign, is going to speak in harmony with Pluto. And that to me represents a real sweet spot, a really beautiful moment of where you may connect with someone. You want to give this energy a few days on either side because of how that international sector in your chart is so lit up. It may be somebody who represents a spirit of adventure or very different than you've known before, whether it is in terms of their religious belief, philosophical belief, or perhaps where it is that they are from. For those of you just starting to date someone, what a remarkable time this can be. In the context of dating, I love how Venus is going to turn the energy decidedly social. And so it does look like you'll be that much more interested in connecting with this person on that level of companionship, but also sharing them with your friends, you wanting to know their friends. That becomes possible now. Now, the other thing is, though, it is possible that you may come to understand your connection with this person differently in some way. It may not be this person you want to navigate forward with, and that would be okay as well, because it does look like as long as you are, and it looks like you are, being social, connecting with others, there will be lots of opportunities for you in the context of love. For those of you who are in an established bond, well, I love this social energy. I feel like it helps you to feel that much closer to your partner while in the company of others, doing social things together, socializing, if you will. And that can be part of the fun that takes place at this time. But keep in mind that we've also got Pluto in your opposite sign. And so with Pluto, either a relationship bonds that much more deeply or it really doesn't. It ends up going another way. And if this is someone you've had doubts about, if you feel that this is not someone to navigate forward with, you'll be able to really be at peace with that understanding as we start moving towards the middle of the month. What I love about this month for you, there's so much here. It's a powerful and meaningful astrological moment. I'm going to say the luckiest day of the year because it does involve your ruling luminary, the sun, meeting Jupiter in the sky. This is always a time of optimism and expansion in some way for you. This time it's happening in fellow fire sign, Aries, which means that it's your element. You're able to tap into the power of this moment that much more. In some way, your world grows, it expands, and many Leos are going to feel like the world is yours. Well, thank you so much for watching. You can get a video like this each and every week for each and every sign for as low as just $3 a month with Choose Your Membership rate. Now, higher tiers get you things like all access passes to Synchronicity University events, consultations with me, and so much more. All of this in the Superstar space at NadiyaShahSuperstars.com. Links are in the description below. Thank you again for watching. It'll be a great month. Enjoy.